This is an example of liberals gone wild. You know, you see those videos of spring break in Florida, you know, where the girls go wild. Well, this is liberals go wild. This is at the Liberal caucus meeting, which I understand is occurring right after the Liberal cabinet meeting, which was preoccupied almost entirely with Donald Trump. Yes, the Canadian government now is putting together a plan called Team Canada to try to keep Donald Trump from being reelected. That's the whole idea here. That's it. And is it really Team Canada? You know what I think it is? It should be more accurately described as Team Globalist or Team World Economic Forum, because Justin Trudeau is not working for Canada. Justin Trudeau's working for the globalist agenda. Justin Trudeau's working for Klaus Schwab in the WEF. That's what he's all about. But if you think the Liberals are sane, if you think they've got sound minds, have a look at this clip here. It is absolutely astounding. But this is the state of the Liberal Party today.
So I'm here with my colleagues, Liberal caucus members, ministers all, to talk about what happened last night in Edmonton when the Premier of the province of Alberta, Danielle Smith, invites Tucker Carlson right into the heart of my riding. You can tell a lot about a person by the company they keep. Completely unacceptable for the Premier of any province to say that she wants to put a target on the back of any Canadian politician, and my friend and colleague Stephen Guilbeault simply for doing his job.
The she here is Danielle Smith, Alberta Premier Danielle Smith. I should have probably prefaced this bizarre video by saying,
you can have respectful discourse in this country, you can raise the issue, you can bang your fist on a table at a FedProv meeting, that's all legit. But you do not summon the dogs of MAGA conservatism to come and somehow try to scare us and to try to incite violence against politicians of any stripe. It's not acceptable. And if she would take her job seriously, she'd actually be focused on housing, on climate change, on actually solving the issues of Albertans, like forgetting her ridiculous proposal on CPP, instead of trying to summon evil forces from the United States to try to take on one of our colleagues.
There's continuity we see here with last week.
All right, this is the Pablo Rodriguez, the guy who looks like a homeless person. But evil forces from the United States, are they talking about Tucker Carlson?
The insults to the Quebec elected. We don't know if the American right-wing politics will come to us. It is here. We hear a lot of Quebec bashing, and I ask Pierre Poilievre to condemn this, that he'll have the political courage to face this.
And Minister Guilbeault, I mean, you're the minister that, as your colleague was saying, was targeted. I mean, how do you feel about your name being brought up?
I mean, this goes beyond me and the fact that I was targeted last night at this event. This increases political violence against everyone who runs for office in this country, whether they're doing it at the municipal level, at the provincial level, or at the federal level. As my friend and colleague Randy said, like, we can have differences of opinion. We can bang our fist on the table when we meet. We can have strong disagreement. But to incite violence against people who...
What is this clown talking about? This is the guy who's inciting violence by telling us we have to shut the power off, we have to freeze, we can't have the lights on, we can't drive cars, we can't do anything because we have to listen to you, you little dictator.
There will be limitations on how much natural gas you can use.
Yes, absolutely. That's what fighting climate change looks like.
How dare you say Tucker Carlson or anybody else is inciting violence against you? You were the Greenpeace clown who got arrested for trying to climb the CN Tower. You're the clown, the environmental extremist who's trying to shove very catastrophic and dangerous environmental policies down the throats of Canadians. You're the one inciting violence against Canadians.
What is the violence? What is the violence? I think the minister also said this in French. What is the violence that they are bringing to Canada? What is the political violence that you're talking about? Just to be very clear.
Well, to put a target on someone's back, for example.
To
put someone in crosshairs.
Say they're bringing here.
I mean, spewing hate speech about LGBTQ people, trying to bring the kind of division that they have in the United States north of the border. MAGA-style conservatism has no place in Canada, and it's trying to reach through our borders. And as Minister Rodriguez has said, Conservative premiers, instead of doing their jobs, are trying to invite this wave of populism. And I can tell you, it's making newcomers nervous and fearful. People in the LGBTQ community do not feel safe. We have people who want to run for office that take a look at what happened last night in Edmonton and say, why bother? And that is not good for the political commons, and it's not good for Canadian democracy.
You brought up Pierre Poilievre's name in your comments. I mean, is this going to be your strategy effectively going forward? Is tying Pierre Poilievre to Trump?
He wants to be prime minister of this country. What happened last night is not acceptable. Is he going to condemn that? If he wants to run for prime minister, he should have the courage to condemn those. It's not acceptable in our country.
Going to be your strategy? People attended, sir. I mean, what do you make of the fact that there is an audience for it and for their perspective?
Well, as I said in French, the extreme right politics, don't ask the question if it's coming to Canada. It's already here. And they bring it in.
Over the past 24 hours, you haven't stopped mentioning that we shouldn't talk about politics. We should do what we're doing on the ground. What in your announcement has to do with and not politics? We're politics. Yes, we're politicians. But when there are statements made like that, when there's Quebec bashing and bashing francophones and the society in itself, we can't be silent on that. And Mr. Poilievre cannot maintain silence. He has to condemn this. Talk to Ms. McDonald. Talk to the municipalities, for example, who remind us to what extent it's difficult to find people who are ready to present themselves for municipal politics because of a climate of violence that's growing. And Danielle Smith yesterday said about Carlson, we can't lie about this. A TV anchor who lied and failed, and then to bring these messages here to Canada. What happened in the American capital in January 21, that's unacceptable. That's not how it is. Quebecers and Canadians want us to be doing politics. We can have differences of opinions, we can argue on certain things, but to incite political violence to people who don't think like us, I think most of people in Canada don't agree with that.
Are you not contributing to the divide?
What should have been done? Should he not have been let into the country? You're all familiar with his rhetoric. He's been doing this for years. So what, should he have been stopped at the border?
I think his word should be condemned. We cannot accept that in Canada. This is not us, and this will never be. This will never be us.
Are you not? All I can say is go to hell, Pablo Rodriguez. You don't make decisions like that. You don't decide what speech is allowed in Canada. You're trying very hard. As Heritage Minister, you're responsible for censorship bills, but you can go to hell. All of you, this motley crew, who's deciding what Canadians can think, what they can listen to, what they can talk about. You are a disgrace. You are all a disgrace to Canada. And to say that Tucker Carlson shouldn't be let in the country because you don't like him, I can only say we don't have to listen to a word you say, and we're not listening to you.
Contributing to the divide by coming out here and comparing Poilievre to this and making this about him? Are you not contributing to the divide by doing that? If your government has been accused...
We're not comparing Poilievre to him. I think what
You're not? Have you looked at your own advertising?
Why should Canadians trust you with their vote, given, not just the sort of ideological inclination in terms of taking the page out of Donald Trump's book, but
what are you
also...
talking about? What page? What page? Can you give me a page? Give me the page.
It's corrupt. You have corrupt media in this country.
We have seen an absolute meltdown by the bought and paid for media.
We're spending $170 billion for faraway land.
He'd rather spread falsehood about faraway foreign lands, Mr. Speaker.
Our country is rigged, it's crooked, and it's broken.
Everything is broken.
The left-wing censorship regime.
Their woke censorship ideology.
We have to bring it home, right? Gotta bring it home.
Let's bring it home. Thank you.
What are you
Also,
talking about? What page? What page? Can you give me a page?
What Mr. Rodriguez just said is he said, I'm asking Pierre Poilievre, the leader of the opposition, to condemn those hateful and violent statement by Tucker Carlson.
Guys are a joke. These people are a joke. Tucker Carlson made no hateful and violent statements. Anyone with a clear head, anyone with two wits to rub together, which none of these people apparently have, could make that assessment. This is absolutely outrageous. Liberals gone wild. Liberals gone crazy. Liberals making no sense at all. What else do you expect from these people? But this is absolute crap. And I'm sick to death of listening to these whining crybabies in the Liberal cabinet going on about how their little feelings are hurt because they feel insulted, because somebody dared stand up to them. Somebody dared question their narrative. Somebody said, you're a bunch of liars, and we're not going to put up with it anymore. And there's a lot of Canadians who want to listen to Tucker Carlson because they know he's talking about things that matter. And you people don't talk about anything that matters. All you can do is try to cause fear and apprehension about a non-existent existential threat that you think is climate change. That's all you can do, is try to raise fears and try to get Canadians afraid. What we have most to fear is the Liberal government. And these clowns have the audacity, the gall, to get before a microphone and a camera and to say Tucker Carlson shouldn't have been let into Canada because he says things that we don't agree with. He says things we don't like. And instead of just arguing back, they say that's inciting to violence. He's using hateful language. He's asking people to be violent. All nonsense, rubbish, crap. This is all these people can come up with. What a joke. The violent, insightful, the people who are inciting people to hatred are the Liberals who are censoring free speech. Pablo Rodriguez was part of that as Heritage Minister. Stephen Guilbeault wants Canadians to freeze and to starve on the altar of environmentalism and climate change. So don't give me this nonsense. Anyway, you probably haven't seen that anywhere else. We just got that this afternoon. Hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. Great interview with Eva Chipiuk. Interesting little piece here with Liberals gone wild, Liberals gone crazy. Thanks for watching again today. It's still David Crayden, and I'll be back again with more of Stand on Guard. And we are standing on guard for you, and we're standing on guard for Canada. Bye for now.
Hi, this is David Crayden from Crayden's Right and Stand on Guard. Join the resistance. Resolve to resist. Become a member of this station. I've been practicing journalism in one form or another for over 30 years. I've worked in print, radio, and television for a lot of prestigious publications and media outlets. I was an Armed Forces Public Affairs officer. I worked in Parliament Hill. I know how Ottawa works, and I know how corrupt federal government can be. But you can play a part in opposing Justin Trudeau's government and Justin Trudeau's plans for Canada. You can become a part of the Crayden's Right resistance. Now, I urge you today, please support this station in any way you can. Ring that bell, subscribe, because that ensures you're at least going to continue to be able to watch these episodes. You'll beat the algorithm. But more importantly, I need your financial support. I hate to ask, but that's what I'm doing. I made a decision to pursue independent media because I believed it was the best possible route for me to take as a journalist and as a concerned citizen of Canada. So you can become a part of that. And at only $5, you can become a part of that on YouTube, on Substack, and with Buy Me a Coffee, a one-time donation. But I need your support. And from the bottom of my heart, I thank you. If you've already done that, if you're already supporting the station, thank you. But if you haven't, make that decision today.